All right, I believe we're live. Fingers crossed this works. It's been a while. Welcome back, everybody. I'll just give this a moment to show up on my side so I know I'm live. Looks like we are good to go. Awesome stuff. One touch live streaming. Makes it easy. All right, welcome back, everybody. Just a quick little bit of news before we get into the Q&A here. So my arm's been wrecked for about a month almost now. It sucks. I haven't played guitar much in the last 30 days, so not only am I rusty, but it hurts to play. So I'm doing all the right things now to hopefully help it recover, but yeah, I've got some stuff just sort of waiting to be reviewed. I'll get around to it pretty soon. It just sort of sucks. So I thought what we'd do, being that I've had a guitar here for about 3 weeks, 2 weeks, I thought we'd at least do an unboxing to get back into the spirit of things, and it'll get me motivated to get back on the guitar playing again once I can. So it's my rhythm arm. I think I've torn some fibers where my tendons meet my elbow. It's brutal. So anyway, Dr. Rick's helped me out with that, so it's been awesome, but it's really sort of really slowed me down. It kind of sucks not being able to play. But yeah, I'll be back. I'm not quitting. The funny thing was, oh, not that funny, but the reason why it went bad, I shot like 20 videos in a few days. Most of them were pedal videos. Unfortunately, I wish I had done more amp and guitar videos before it went bad, but it is what it is. So there's plenty of pedal videos in the queue, but I don't want to bore everybody with just pedal reviews. But there's more stuff coming, and one of which will be the unboxing that we'll do in just a moment. So welcome, everybody. John, how you doing, man? Welcome back. Thanks for the support. We've got Richard here as well. And the Pork Chop is back. Welcome, channel member. Thanks, man. And obviously, John's from the Patreon crew. Thank you so much. AM Guitar, welcome, man. I still can't find your channel when I search for it. We've got to keyword it better, man. You live through, right? Yeah. It's just sore. Like, I can't do a fist without it, like, enraging the muscles in my forearm here. So it sucks. Like, all the rhythm guitar stuff just gets it right in there. I guess I could still work on my fretting hand. I probably should do some of that, but you know, your instinct is to want to play, and even the finger picking stuff hurts. So yeah, I've just got to sort of give it a break, and it is what it is. You know, I planned on doing a few things this month, playing wise, and none of it's happened. Or last month, I should say. But anyway, great excuse for bad rhythm. Totally. Who needs rhythm guitar when you can noodle your way through every song? We used to have a guy that we knew in the jam circuit. We used to call him Carl the Noodler. He never played chords. It was so annoying. Anyway. We've got Bad Case of Tennis Elbow. That's from Pork Chop. Yeah, it is, man. That's all it is. I also had to help someone move recently, so I favored my opposite hand. But even just the grip strength of balancing stuff, it's made it probably a little bit worse, but it's no big deal. I'll get over it. It just sucks. If you're wondering where the videos are, guitars and amp videos, there's none in the queue, but there's like 10 short videos and about 10 more pedal videos. So yeah, just bear with the channel for the next 3 weeks. I'm tipping it's going to take another 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, but it is what it is. DMS, welcome, man. Hope you're doing well. Octopus Ears says, tomorrow I pay off my new Kiesel. It's finished Friday. Congratulations, man. The Kiesel guitars are the bomb. They're so good. I have the bomb. What's it, 1992? They're great. My favorite live guitar right now is my Kiesel. It's unbelievable. Not only is the playability great, the tone's great, the feel, it's light. It's lighter than my Telecaster. It's lighter than my Strat. Stainless steel frets, all the good stuff. So congrats, man. Let us know which one you got too, because they got some pretty cool guitars there. Or did you customize it? All right. Practice vocals, 100%. I should be doing more practice. The problem is, right, like if you're right, you could just do some singing, but that doesn't help you when you play live, because all of a sudden you've got to play guitar. There's that independence thing that goes missing. But you're right, 100%. I should be singing more in the car. I've been on a Billy Idol tear recently. I'm really getting into is it Stevie Stevens guitar playing, man? Like, I always liked those songs, and then, you know, I've seen a couple of recent shows, and I was recent last sort of 10 years or so, and man, some great stuff. So I'm getting back into the 80s. I might have to grow a big mullet down the back here. All right, welcome back, everybody. Hope you're doing well. I've got Richard here. He says, I've been getting arthritis in my middle finger. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. That's brutal. I think there's some stuff you can do for that, right? Like, maybe not like heal it perfectly, but I think there's some treatments for that kind of stuff. I'm not 100% sure about that, but Tampa Blues, welcome, man. He says, watching from a hospital bed today. Cheers me up. Well, geez, I hope you're doing all right, man. Here's me whinging about my forearm. So rest up and heal up, and I hope you're doing okay. Keith H, he sent a super sticker. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. No comments there, but thanks for the support on the channel, mate. I really appreciate it. Thanks to all the members here. And we've got, Riff Magoo's says, hey, Shane, look after the hand, sore hand blues. Man, it's one of those things. How's this? I had a big string of bad luck. So I did my back. Well, I did my hamstrings, actually. And then I did that live gig with the Princeton that I posted with Dr. Rick, and I was on some painkillers for that, and I already had a sore hand, but it didn't feel that bad until the next day. It made it worse, but it was fun. Anyway, the live stuff will be coming up at some point this year. Just I need a little bit more time to get over this, and I should be back. I tell you what, it was a bit nerve-wracking playing a 3-set gig. You know, it'd been so long for me to do that. The festival 1-set things are easy, but when you have to come up with 2 sets of stuff, it's always a little bit more daunting. But hey, Riff and Keith, thank you again, mate. Guys, I appreciate it. If anyone has any gear questions or whatever, let us know. We're going to do an unboxing of a guitar that's right here. And we're going to check it out because I can't play it right now, but at least we can look at it. All right. Desktop amplifier suitable for plugging into the computer for recording, Victory, Blackstar, etc. with acceptable reverb. I was wondering if you have any recommendations or experience. Man, do you just want something simple, or do you need something with a million controls? That's kind of what your options are. There's plenty of modeling amps that you can just plug in, even the Katana, and it has a USB port which operates like an audio interface, and you can record directly like that. Or you can use the two, not XLRs, the two jack line level outs into, I know they're not line level, I don't think. Or maybe they are line level, I don't know. But you got 2 left and right outs. You can go directly into your sound card that way and record. So you got options there, or you can mic it up. So they're pretty good if you're looking for something inexpensive. There's obviously the Tone Master stuff, which has the XLR out on it, and you can mute the speaker entirely as well. Another great way of recording. You can basically emulate an SM57 or a Royer 121 microphone. So you've got those options as well. There's so many great options. There's even like smaller options you can use in those kind of scenarios too. I think the new X Mighty Space has the option to be used as an audio interface as well. Although I didn't do that in the video, I'm pretty sure I can do it. So that practice amp is phenomenal. It's really, really good. DMS says, went to see Dr. Rick the other week. It was a great gig. Awesome stuff. Very cool, very cool. Eric, thank you, mate. Yeah, it's getting there. It's just been, yeah, as I said earlier, it's just the tendon thing that sort of sucks, but it'll come back at some point. I had this before in my opposite hand, actually. So I've had exactly the same problem in my right arm, which is my chord hand. So that completely stopped me playing. Although this has as well. It's a bit of a different sort of thing. So all of a sudden it just went back to normal. Literally woke up and it was gone. So I'm hoping that will happen with this. So I'm just trying not to aggravate it by doing anything that's really going to put any pressure on here at the moment. So we'll see how we go. Instead of slow hand, you're sore hand. Yeah, exactly. Also have a Mesa Boogie Badlander 50 coming this week. Man, that's awesome, man. Far out. Yeah, the boogies are pretty cool. All right, let me just scroll down. Oh, there goes the chat. Rock that mullet. All right, we've got Marina. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well over there in Greece. What amplifier do you prefer to buy? Well, I mean, for which task? I need more information if you need a like a recommendation. Riff says, sad to hear about China guitar skeptic Mike passing away recently. Yeah, I mean it sucks. He sort of looked like the downfall was pretty quick there with everything he had going on. I mean I saw someone a couple of years into that condition, and they literally couldn't get out of a wheel. They couldn't move. They were in a wheelchair 24 hours a day with, oh, well, maybe not 24 hours a day, but 24-hour care. So, yeah, it's pretty rough. It's I don't know if there's anyone that, I think it's sort of like an irreversible condition. But, yeah, I met Mike once. He's a nice guy and great player, actually. Kind of a little underrated. He's got a really great sort of, he had a great feel for like sort of like 80s rock stuff. He was a bit of he could play quick, and he could play acoustic pretty well too. I got some videos of him and Mike Bradley and Dr. Rick actually playing together. I might put them up at some point actually coming up. It won't be, maybe I'll just post them as their own video or something like that, but stay tuned for that if I do it. I've got so much stuff that I never posted from events and Guitar Saturdays, all that kind of stuff. So I'll try and get more of that coming up, at least while I'm recovering anyway. Hey, we've got Gaslight Guitar here. Welcome. We've got another super chat from The Pork Chop. Hey, thanks, man. Happy birthday, Shane. Have a 600ml Pepsi Max on me. Thanks, mate. I tell you what, I've been out and about all day today. I had an early morning, so we're going to crack open one of these things at 7:35 p.m., which is probably the worst thing I could do, but we're going to do it. My desk was finally tidy enough to do a live stream. This room has been a mess. Not like dirty, but just there's been stuff everywhere. Thank you, mate. I appreciate the support. Thank you. John says, I was looking at the artist guitar site and encountered oh, sorry. Let me just make this. I'm going to move this slightly off to the side of my camera so I can read it better. And I'm going to make it bigger. All right, there we go. I was looking at the artist site, and a discounted customer returned white Strat was in the bargain bin. I couldn't resist. Delivered to my office this morning. I'll get it Wednesday. Wow. Very cool, man. That's awesome. You must have more guitars than anyone I know. Even some stores, I'm pretty sure. Has my collection changed since the last update video you made a while ago? I think I probably moved some things on. I think the last update video I didn't actually showcase any of the stuff that was sent out. It was the stuff that I purchased. I probably moved some stuff on that I either had in for review or whatever. I think the things that have changed recently, the last, like the Kiesel, I'm not sure if I put that in there. Or maybe I did, I can't remember. It's been a while since I remember doing that video. I think it was mostly just other stuff though that I purchased. The Kiesel, I've got that. I've got the Maybury guitar, the Telecaster, that green one, which is really cool. I want to give that a little bit more sort of playing time on the channel moving forward. It's great. And the only other thing that's really here is, ow, see, that's the thing that hurts my arm, is this guy right here. So we're going to unbox this in a minute, and we'll get into it. But I might do a sort of like a recap video of the full collection, because I can't keep everything that I have in this house here where I rent. There's not enough space. I don't want stuff everywhere. I've actually got stuff in my hallway, and I hate having stuff in my hallway. Not guitars. I mean, you can never have too many, but there's just boxes of stuff that I need to move on. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Tampa Blue says, have you tried those Velcro wraps? They're great for supporting the tendon while it heals. Yeah, I have seen them. My friend Brian's used those on his... when he was going through it as well. I sometimes find like, if you overly support something that's sore, it can work against you. Like you get used to having it babied, kind of, if that makes sense. I've learnt that with like lower back support stuff over the years. It's better to sort of like let it go unless you really need it. But it might be an option if it doesn't heal up in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to get looked at again properly and get it scanned and all that kind of stuff. If there might be something else going on in there, but it feels pretty much identical to my other arm, and problem is, right, like doing the guitar playing thing and, you know, picking things up, moving things around, it's such an easy way to aggravate it. Even though I'm still training, I'm trying not to put any pressure on my wrists and hands, so I'm doing other exercises. No arm curl stuff or anything, just to not aggravate this point in here. It's brutal, but yeah, look, if it gets bad enough, I might look into it, but I try not to wrap things up unless they're bleeding. All right, let me have a sip of this. All right, Carl says, hi Shane, 61-year-old beginner here, loving guitar. I have quite a few Joyo pedals because of your videos. Awesome stuff, man. As far as like inexpensive and to sort of like mid-level stuff now, because they can go over $100, the Joyo and Kalen pedals are still two of the best. You know, Donna make good stuff. I don't like their strategy of stealing people's videos, but I like their product given their price. So the Donna stuff, Kalen and Joyo, all still great in 2023, so no problems there whatsoever. Thanks for joining in. Have I played the new Rivera amplifiers? I haven't, and that's from Richard. I was never overly blown away by Rivera amps. I hadn't played one that really blew me away. Like, they say they're kind of like a mix of Fender cleans and Marshall dirty tones, but they don't do either as well, at least from only the few that I've played, right? This is going back a long time. But yeah, I'd be interested to try them if they've sort of nailed something that's really unique or mind-blowing, whether that's a great clean or a great dirty tone or whatever the case may be. The one that I tried back in the day was pretty underwhelming. It was loud, but it didn't sound great. All right, just wanted to say, as a Lefty guitarist named Shane, once I discovered your channel, I had to stick around. Hey, thanks, Shane Booth. We also have a second Shane in here who's a Lefty, who's a fat philosopher, who just actually said that exact same thing. So welcome, mate. That's awesome. I don't know too many Shanes outside of online stuff. So I only know one. And yeah, so that's cool. That's my accountant, by the way. I got my Big Freeze 9 Flight MND beanie in CGS Mike's honor. Very cool, mate. Very cool. That's from Chopper. Todd Flowers, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. I'm just getting through the shout-outs here. We're going to do an unboxing at about the, I don't know, 20-minute mark or something like that. We'll go for about an hour. We're almost at 20 minutes, so let me get through this. Krenner, how you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. All right. I need to level up to a Pro Amp. What do you prefer? I mean, if you want a great live gigging amplifier, get a Hot Rod Deluxe for its clean channel. If you want a great drive channel, get a Marshall. The Marshall DSL-40 is hard to beat. 20-watt mode is fantastic, and you can pretty much find them anywhere. If you want to spend way more than that, there's like boutique options of the same thing, but it's a bit of a law of diminishing returns thing. So you can spend $3,000 and it won't sound better than a Marshall. It'll just be a bit different. Sometimes it might, but other times it won't. So DSL-40s for me are a bit of a win-win when it comes to its clean and dirty channel. But the Fender has probably a nicer clean. So that's how I kind of look at it. But both are plenty loud if you're using pedals, and all you need is a clean channel. The Fender's a pretty great choice. Hey, we've got Jamal here. Welcome, mate. I hope you're doing well. All right, Todd Flowers. Everybody's here. This is awesome. Welcome, guys. Hope you're all having a great week so far. I know it's early in the week. Hey, Shane, your review on the Artist TC59 helped me decide on buying one. All your reviews are great. Love your content. Hey, thank you, Matyo243. I don't know how to pronounce that. Sorry. I tried. I try my best with my videos. I always have. Some of the pedal videos now I'm shortening a little bit because I guess the interest in them are waning, but the guitar videos and the amp videos, yeah, thank you. I put a lot of work into what I do, and I'm always trying to make them better. So let me know if we should start this unboxing. We're right at the 20-minute mark. And I link to this guitar down in the description if you want to spoil it. But yeah, we'll check it out anyway. This is one that really caught my eye, and I thought, kind of keen on seeing what this is all about. All right. I'll click the paid promotion tab after the live stream has gone live because this was a gift. I didn't buy it. But I can't do that now. So what I'm going to do is do it right after we finish here. Uh-oh, where's the chat gone? Oh, no. I hate when this happens. Where's the chat? Oh, there it is. I'm using Windows. I'm a Mac guy now. I used to be a qualified Microsoft guy. All right. Let's go for it. So, we'll keep the suspense alive here if you haven't already checked the link. But I thought we'd check this out. Now, this isn't the least expensive guitar that they make, but it looks like one of the best. So, and it's right up my alley. If you know the channel, if you're new here, I'm very much a Tally's style guy, and it was slightly different to pretty much everything else that's at the house here. So, I'm gonna move this drink so I don't destroy it. Hi in the blues, when did you want to sound like Albert King? Should I get an Epiphone Flying V or a Gibson version? There you go. So I spoiled it. There it is. Harley Benton. I love Albert King. Albert King and Eric Clapton were my two favorite blues players forever. And then I found Chris Kane, and he's one of the big three for me. Those three guys are awesome. Albert's got the touch and the attitude and the attack, and I don't know, if you listen to enough Albert King and you go to listen to Stevie, there's something missing. I don't know what it is. Stevie's phenomenal, but I reckon Albert's still underrated. And, you know, there's no best guitar player ever. That's not really a discussion, but... Alright, let's have a look at this. I'm going to be reviewing this hopefully in the next 2 weeks. I just thought I'd showcase, you know, a little bit about it, because it's here and I'm unable to play, but I'm going to take a look. Check this out. Whoo, how's this neck? Wow. Oh, I've got eye tracking on, so I'm going to have to cover my eye here, but you can sort of get a sense of how nice that looks. Look at that. I'm just going to focus. Beautiful. All right. So this is a Harley Benton. Oh, man. Look at this. All right, let's get rid of this cardboard box. Now, before I showcase this, I just want to bring up my little cheat sheet, because I already did that. It's over here. And the chat always disappears as soon as I do anything on this computer. Why does that happen? We don't know. All right, here we go. Cool. All right, so this guitar is the Harley Benton Fusion T25th LH for left-handed, and the color is called Fire Mist. And this is what it looks like. So it's kind of like, not exactly like, but a little shoreline gold, but darker. I think one of the interesting things about this over other Fusion Ts that I've seen, which isn't a good or a bad thing, look at the back. It's got the same finish. I think this looks pretty killer, and the reason I like the look of this, other than the nice big neck, we get some humbuckers. 3-way position switch, push-pull, so you can coil split. It looks like it's got a tremolo arm section on it. Man, I reckon these are some of the best necks on any guitar right now. Have a look at this. I know everyone will go, oh, what about this guitar that's 3 times the price? But look at that for a... It's a bit awkward. Sorry, look at that neck. It's like absolutely stunning. It looks like roasted maple. Yeah, like a copper finish, but it looks a little... Not quite as dark as that to my eye, but maybe it's coming up a little bit different on the camera. But yeah, very similar, somewhere between copper and shoreline gold. Sorry, I'm just reading the specs here. So we get 22 medium jumbo blacksmith stainless steel frets. Stainless steel frets. Why can't Fender do that? Come on, every guitar company should be putting in stainless steel frets. They don't wear out. You don't need a new neck. You don't need to get it like serviced. Stainless steel frets will last you forever. We get locking tuners as well, which is killer. So if you're looking to stay in tune, that's always a good thing. This is beautiful. I don't know what to say. Like, I know a lot of people will always say, like, oh, the YouTuber guys get the best guitars. It's not the case. I've received some that were completely damaged and the tuners were misaligned and all that kind of stuff. But this is in what looks to be awesome condition. There's a few scuffs on the fretboard here and there, but nothing that's really going to affect its playability. Yeah. Wow. So there you go. If you want to have a look at this, I'll link it down in the description, or I have already. But I just wanted to quickly show you what's coming up. This is one of the guitars that will be showcased, hopefully this month in June. So focus. Focus. Oh, this camera. Once you enable eye tracking, it wants to stick to your face. All right. Let's pop that down. And we're back. So yeah, let us know what you think. So the pickups are called Tesla VR3B Alnico 5s. Oh, and it's got a 3... oh man, I haven't heard of these pickups before, but usually Harley Bensons would put the Roswell pickups in. So I need to do some research before I review this. Just double check a few things about what's going on there, but I mean, it looks killer. Let us know what you think. Do you still not like the Origin 5? It's terrible. Don't buy it. It's worst, one of the worst 5-watt amps I've ever played. It's horrible. Reverse headstock. No reverse headstock. This is the normal headstock. I'm just a lefty. That's all that is. Just a left-hander. Hey, there you go. My new Kiesel is HH Tele with a trem. Very cool. I mean, Kiesel guitars are unreal, man. If anyone out there hasn't tried one, I know they're not like the mainstream sort of Fender or Gibson or Epiphone or whatever, but if you're looking for a higher end guitar, you can get a killer custom shop guitar made that's better than most other guitars you've known for years. They're really good. You know, any of the live clips I've been posting, which is few and far between at the moment, that guitar has been so good. It's just awesome. So you're gonna love it. Well done. Craig says, "Hi Shane, I reviewed your... I enjoyed your review of the Eastman T5 9V so much I bought one today." Oh, congrats, man. That's super cool. Are you left-handed as well? Those guitars are really something special. The Eastmans are great. There's so many good guitars now. It's hard to find a bad one. But the Eastman stuff, you know, a lot of people go, oh, it's made in China or whatever. It's like handmade there, right? You buy a handmade Gibson from a luthier, it's going to cost you 10 grand, maybe 12, maybe more. Or at least here. But those Eastmans are, you know, a fraction of that price, and they're handmade by people who are doing some of the best stuff out there. All right. I'll just scroll back up here in case I missed anything. I rock the blues. Welcome, if I didn't say hi before. Ryan says, live Shane, just what the doctor ordered. Good to see you. Thanks for joining in, man. Hope you're doing well over there in WA. I want to get back there later on this year if I can. I'm always a big fan of Perth. Greetings from Kuala Lumpur. Love your show. That's from, is it Roma 10? Welcome, welcome. Lefties have rights too. All right. Cool. King's Angel says, I just bought my first Telecaster Vintera 50s. Need amp for home use. What are your thoughts on the Tonemaster Deluxe or Princeton tones compared to Amplitude models? I mean, look, when you're talking about an actual amplifier versus, you know, something on your computer, you got the functionality benefit of having an amp. That's infinitely better. You don't have to always have a computer on, headphones on, or studio monitors, or whatever you want to do. You can just plug in and play. And they've got the power attenuation thing on the back, so you can play them at such a low volume and get a good sound. The lowest setting is not great, but anywhere above that is good. The thing with it's strange, like they've got a Princeton and a Deluxe. They're kind of similar amplifiers. Well, they're not. I mean, there is a difference in the tone, but inherently they're kind of similar, right? If you're more partial to the sound of a Deluxe reverb, go for that. If you like the sort of gnarliness of the Princeton, then that's a great amp. I'd say bigger is probably better with the Tone Master stuff to some extent, because you can always just turn it down. and you're getting an emulated 22 watts versus 12. So you'll have a bit more output volume as well. So it just kind of comes down to what you need. If you're not going to be playing loud, the Princeton will be fine. But if you need a little bit more headroom, go for the Deluxe. That's if you're doing any live stuff at all. Look, modeling stuff is fine, and I use it when appropriate as well. But I think if you just need a practice amplifier, you know, the Joyo Jam Buddy will get you 3 sounds, and it will do it well, and you can practice and play as long as you like. I'm always surprised when you pull out a Lefty. Man, it still must mess with so many people. It is kind of weird. Like when I see other left-handed players, I'm like, that's weird. I'm so used to just seeing right-handed players everywhere. They always look uncoordinated to my eye. I don't know what it is. Here we go. Robert says, mine is one of the 25th anniversary bass models. That's on order. Oh, awesome stuff, man. That's super cool. Robert says he's already got a Harley Benton Enhanced 25th LH Fire Mist on order. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I've been a bit out of the loop with the Harley Benton stuff recently, and I think there's another one coming, or maybe a second one. I'm not exactly sure what's happening. It's not here yet, but yeah, I'm testing the ones that I think are of interest to me or will be of interest to the channel, being that I'm a big Tele fan. That's a nice dark roast. Yeah, the neck is really cool. Oh, there was a good comment there. What was it? Oh, someone said they like the contours. Sorry, I can't find that. I can't even pick it up. All right, so yeah, I'll move it back so it's in focus. There you go. Yeah, so we get the contoured heel here. Belly cut, which I've come to appreciate. One of the best inclusions on tellies these days for me. The belly cut just is a more comfortable playing experience. You know, I've stuck with the traditional shapes for so long. The Keystall's got the belly cut. The you know, the Player Plus guitars as well have them. It's just a good addition to a guitar, and sort of trims out a bit of the weight as well, which is always a good thing. But man, this neck is really something special. You know, one thing I've noticed about all stainless steel frets, they're a little bit more pointed on the ends, probably because they're a little bit harder to sort of shave down. They're not sharp, but you feel the edges of the fretboard a little bit more than you would with the traditional frets. And it's coming from guitars of all price points. I've played, you know, probably 30 guitars with stainless steel frets at Jerry's overseas and just over the years. And I've noticed that with guitars. It's not sharp, but they're more prominent on the edge. But yeah, it looks cool. Pickups look like they're at a pretty decent height. What I like about this already, when I bend the strings with my right hand, it doesn't move, which is great. It means I don't have to go fiddling around to get it to work. We've got the string through body as well on the back, and yeah, so it's a pretty cool looking hybrid between, you know, not really a hybrid guitar, but a pretty good modern interpretation, I guess. Still a big fan of the Bugera Infinium and the Positive Grid Spark for some home studio stuff. Very cool, Mark. Yeah, the Bugera Infinium 5-watter is great. It's awesome. Great little amp. Please do an Origin 5x2 in stereo video. You'll be amazed. Well, if one sounded as bad as it did, I don't know if I'm going to do two. Look, I'll see what I can do. Maybe it's worth revisiting. Sometimes with gear or amps or whatever, wherever you're at or whatever your frame of mind is on that day, if you're having a bad day, if it's your playing's crap or whatever the case is, you sometimes don't get the best out of something. And sometimes when you do so many videos, you just sort of like, you know, I had 3 or 4 amps to do on that particular day, and I only had them for about 2 days or whatever. So I was like, all right, I'll get them done next. And that amp underwhelmed me to no end, I should say. It was just not very good. But maybe it's worth trying them again. Maybe they've changed them. I have no idea. Maybe they've made them sound a little bit better, but who knows? Actually, it might be... There's another thing I'm going to review coming up from Hageman. It's this really great like box that I can run multiple amps from at the same time with no loop. So that's going to be fun. Unfortunately, I can't. Yeah, as I said earlier, I can't play at the moment. So I've just got to wait until that gets sorted out. But yeah, so that might be a fun thing to try with a couple of those little amps. Ken says 666 AUD plus $241 delivery. Wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. I didn't realize that. Sorry. I just linked to it. I didn't check the shipping cost. Yeah, the shipping's brutal now. Like after all 2020 and 2021 and all that kind of stuff. I'm really happy with the sound from this. Oh, he's talking to Fat Philosopher there. I think that's a Wilkinson Trem bridge. It is. Yep. Let's bring this up to here. So there you go. That's a pretty... What I'm seeing on my reference monitor is pretty accurate to what I'm seeing. So if I tilt it this way towards the light, it's much more bright and yellow. If I tilt it this way, you're right, it looks more copper, but it's somewhere in the middle. So, yeah, it's a cool looking guitar, man. This neck's one of the most impressive so far. This is up there with that 2 humbucker, more traditional Telefusion that I reviewed a little while back, that I'll be buying back off John. Sorry, I just smashed the microphone, by the way. Let's bring that back down. Oh, there you go. John just says, does it feel different or the same as the Fusion used to have? The neck feels very, very similar. You know, I can't quite remember what the back of that guitar looked like. I think it was like some sort of like dark mahogany clear coat over the back. But excuse me, I'd have to double check. Shipping has always been the killer on the Harley Benton stuff to Australia. It was yeah, at one point though I saw it for under $100. So yeah, that's a while ago now, obviously. Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time like looking at shipping prices on stuff. I just generally find the price on the site, and then the reason why is because everyone's watching from somewhere else, and shipping prices will no doubt vary everywhere. But we're so far away from everyone down here. It's just the way that it is. Hey Shane, I bought that Jet JS400 recently for the price. I'm really impressed with it, especially the neck feel. Very cool. Let's just have a look at that one, because my knowledge of Jet guitars isn't great. I do know I played one at all right, so there's a few different Jet guitars now. There used to be one model was made in the US, or one series, and the other model was, I think, made somewhere in maybe Korea, possibly. But these look different to the Jet brand that I know. And I've had a few people ask me if I've been able to try these, and I haven't. But I just noticed now there's a shop local to where I am that actually has them in stock. And they're $479, which is pretty good. But I'm almost positive there's no lefties, right? Is that how that works? Let's do this. Jet left-handed. I'll have a look. No, there's nothing. Anyway, that's how that rolls. That's kind of the thing that sucks, right? Like I look at these guitars and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks cool. They'll never make a lefty, and it's the sort of the sad reality for a lot of lefties. I know a few guys like Jamal, he'll buy right-handed guitars and sort of string them up the other way, which is probably a good thing to do to some extent, but I've never done it, so I always feel like I'll be all thumbs trying to play guitar that way around. Have I tried the Joyo R14 Atmosphere? I haven't. That's one I haven't done. That sounds like a reverb delay pedal or something like that. I haven't actually seen this one up close. I'll just take a quick look. Oh, I know this one by visually now. I haven't actually tried this one. I tried the one that comes up right next to it called the Mariana which is from Kalen, which kind of looks like it does a similar thing. But the Joyo one I haven't tried, no. Catch you guys in a few minutes. Got to get out to my car. Cool, Fat. No worries, man. Have I ever played the Lefties from Grote? Why does that name sound like hilarious? I don't know why. It reminds me of something from the 80s, maybe. Here we got a camera question here. Should I sell my GH5 if I want to get rid of Micro Four Thirds? Well, if you want to get rid of Micro Four Thirds, then you'll need to sell your GH5 because it's a great camera though. Fat Philosopher. Oh no, sorry. Dave said, "Hey Dave, welcome man. Hope you're doing well. I still have my original Charvel guitar. I've had it for 40 years. Man, that's super cool. You're gonna have to send a photo through so I can show the folks. That sounds unreal. Welcome. If you're a camera nerd, folks, go check out David's channel. I don't know. I think he's from Melbourne as well. Anyway, we might be in the same city. Different niche, same city. I'm actually shooting this on a Sony, so don't tell anybody. It's not overheating though, so it's a good one. They have lefties for the HSS and JS400 Triple S. Man, that's a lot of J's and S's in that sentence. It would be cool if you can do a review for it. I tell you what, if I can get my hands on one somehow, I'll review it. There's a shop I know relatively well that looks like they stock them, so I'll see if they can get one in or if they've got one. They might have, sometimes a lot of the shops will sometimes have one. They don't put it on their site because no one will buy it. Being, you know, the one lefty. So yeah, I'll see what we can do coming up. Hey Craig, thank you man. What are you doing? Hey Shane, for the coffee/Pepsi fund. Ever had a guitar that does everything right that you want to love, but it just doesn't do it for you? Ever had a guitar that does everything right that you wanted to love, but just doesn't do it for you? You know, the Flying V's a bit like that for me. I kind of love the sound that's light. It's got easy high fret access. It ticks all the boxes for like the Gibson stuff that I love, and I am not playing it. And the reason why, it's friggin' huge. The case is so big, it wouldn't even fit on this table. I couldn't even get it in my old car's back seat in the hard case. I think that's part of the reason why I don't use it much. It's just a massive case, massive guitar, but it sounds so good. That's one that I love that I don't use enough. Most of my other ones I'm pretty satisfied with. Like again, like I said, my Kiesel S5 Johnny Highland / intheblues model, that thing kicks ass. That's great. And there's not a lot about that I would change. I don't think there's really anything. But yeah, probably the guitar that I love and don't use enough would be the Flying V. I always wanted to get one exactly like that, and the case is huge. The case is so big. It's like a coffin. If you've ever seen an Explorer case, hard case, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And the Flying V's not too far behind it in terms of physical size, so it just doesn't see much action because of how big the case is. But I do use it on the channel from time to time. I just don't use it enough. I really need to start breaking that out. But hey, thank you for the support, mate. I appreciate it, Craig. Greg says, I just picked up an Artist ST MVG Seafoam Green electric guitar with a single pickups. Roasted maple neck is awesome. 1 volume and 1 tone knob. That's unreal. I think, I know I said this last time, but I spoke to one of the guys at Artist. So we should be seeing some more of their stuff coming through pretty soon. I'm just going to type this into the Google search engine. I tried to say something funny there. It didn't work. This came out like I couldn't talk. All right. Yeah, these look good. $349, man. Far out. What a good deal. So yeah, hang in there. I'll see what we can do coming up with some more reviews once I can play again. But yeah, very cool. Dave, good stuff, David. Melbourne as well. That's awesome. We should collaborate on something, actually. There you go. How about that? I have a righty Strat that I set up Hendrix style. It looks great, but it's a massive pain in the ass. Completely negates the ergonomic excellence of a Strat design. Yeah, and you know the other thing that I don't like about playing upside down? My forearm is always knocking the tone controls or volume control. I've picked up so many right-handed guitars and tried to play them over the years. My forearm just inherently will sit right over the volume controls on a Tele or a Strat. Mostly a Stratocaster is probably more of a problem, but yeah, I've just never really felt comfortable doing it myself. And you're right, it sort of would change the whole playing experience. Did I ever get my hands on a Champion 600? That's interesting. No, it doesn't sound familiar. Champion 600. Fender Champion. No, I don't know this one. It looks kind of like a cool little amp, though. I don't know if I've ever seen one of these anywhere. So, definitely not. But if I get a chance to, I will. I'm a big fan of little amps from Fender, so that should be pretty cool. Oh, Jamal, what are you doing, mate? Belated birthday. Thank you, man. Thanks for the kind wishes and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I turned 44 a few days ago. 44! Man, I've been doing this a long time. So, yeah. Anyway, it's just another number. Still going strong. I was still trying anyway. Minus the arm pain. But, hey, thanks for all the support over the years, man. I don't know what to say. Thank you, Jamal. You're awesome, man. Rock on, and hopefully you get a chance to catch up sometime one year in either Texas or wherever if you ever make it over here. All right. S says, my buddy just got an Ibanez RG550L. Sounds great. Man, Ibanez guitars are fantastic. I always get their model numbers a little bit messed up in my head visually from what it actually is, but the RGs are super cool. We've got Cameron says, hey Shane from Tamworth, have you ever tried Rivera Amps? Yeah, funnily enough, someone mentioned that earlier. I have a Pubster 25 and it rocks. I've only tried a couple of their amps, and they were ones made in, I think, the early 90s, maybe late 90s. And they weren't the best, but I'm not judging all of them by that. I've only had limited experience with them. Some of the Rivera amps I've heard that are supposed to be great, but the ones that I've played were okay. Nothing mind-blowing, but I haven't tried a Pubster 25, and that's maybe the one I need to try, so that sounds good. Todd says his Firebird case is massive also. Yeah, man, like, it's just like, what do you do with these cases? They're literally almost, they're like up to here. I'm a short ass, right? But they come up to at least here. Well, maybe not, maybe more like here. But they're still really quite big and sort of annoying to move around. Remco says, I enjoyed your review of the Suhr Legacy Standard. Mark Knopfler. Oh, man, that guitar's so good. MK Specs. It's one of the top guitars in my collection. Are you still thinking of getting one? I would love to get one of those guitars. I would sell more than I would like to admit to get one of those. They're just so expensive. If I can move a few guitars, like, I would almost replace... I know this sounds sacrilegious. I would almost sell my Strat American Original and my Fender American Original Tally to get one of those. That's how much I liked it. Those pickups are unbelievably good. The feel is good. Now, I don't know everybody likes the look from that period of time. It's got a little bit sort of, it's got a, I don't know how to explain it. You'll either like it or you won't. I guess that's the easiest way. But yeah, that guitar kicks ass. But I would probably want to move some stuff on before I buy it. So yeah, and I know Jerry, where I actually played at Jerry's Lefty Guitars in Florida, he's moving at the moment. So I think he probably needs a little bit more time before he's got all of his stuff back out and sorted. Then I might have a chat with him about it. But man, just like killer guitar. So congratulations. That's one of the best I've played. You know, that held its own with the best of the best for me, that guitar. Keith says, I just got a Gibson Flying V Natural. Comes with the V case, a much smaller, really easy to move around. Oh, that's good. I should get the case one live stream and show you. Like, you look at this box, right? just a standard guitar box. The Gibson case would be like, it's hard to show it on camera. It's just friggin' huge. It's so big. Yeah, mine's massive, so that's good to know. At least they've kind of got the size down a little bit. John says, yep, the forearm is right on the knobs and cable. Also with the strap button, the short horn, big headstock at neck dives. Oh, man. Yeah, that's sort of one of the downsides of flipping things around, right? Oh, sorry, chat just moved. I love the RG 550. Yeah, we saw some really cool ones on the Guitar Search Saturday at there's a place in Hawaii that was awesome. The big shop that we went to. They had some really great ones. Heavy Brett says, I'm 5'1" and my flying V case is bigger than me. So there you go. Yeah, it's crazy big. Have I ever reviewed a divided by 13 CJ11? I haven't. No, I've tried some divided by 13 amps over the years. Never reviewed one. I got to say, one of the things I do like about them is the fact they've got that sort of like glitter back plate thing on them. I think that looks kind of cool. To me, they're a little bit like a Vox amplifier tonally. If you haven't played one before, I don't know if they're all like that, but at least the one that I played was very heavily Vox inspired. It was really bright. Had a sort of like dip in the mids, which is kind of good if you're using tube screamers and pedals, but not great sometimes cutting the mix. And I had a bit of a decent low end response, but I remember it being really bright. But this is going back over 10 years, so it's been a long time. But they make quality stuff. I just haven't tried enough of them to know. The CJ11, let me have a look at that one. I don't think that would be the one that I've probably played by the looks of it. You know what? It might be. That might be the one. If that has more of... Oh, actually, is it... Oh, this one's coming up as a 2x12. The one I tried was a single 12-inch combo. It was black. And it had this, like, sort of glitter three-dimensional kind of look to it on the top panel. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. But this is the thing, right? Like, sometimes as time goes by, you get back into something, you go, oh man, what was I thinking back then? Like, this thing rocks. So that's why it's always good to revisit stuff a few years later, just in case you were wrong. I've been wrong many times on the channel. Hey, Remco, thank you, man. Far out. Guys are way too... man, too generous or too bored. Oh, I've lost the seat. There we go. Let's bring that back up. Hey, thank you, Remco. Appreciate that, mate. He's super chatted 11.99 euros, which is probably like 300 Australian dollars. So thank you, mate. That's awesome. Thank you. Thanks for the support, folks. Need a 4-letter word when it comes to guitars. I must have... Oh, need is a 4-letter word. Sorry, I thought it was saying something else there. Samuel, welcome. Looks like I'm at the bottom of the chat, which rarely happens, which is awesome. So we're going to go for 1 hour tonight. And then I'll timestamp this up, and we can, you can, if you missed the start or whatever, there'll be timestamps after the fact. Also just saw 4 Fender Champion 600s at a local music shop here in Northern California. I'm reading, yeah, I know you can't see this, but I'm reading through a camera and a cable. So that's why I'm like fumbling everywhere. I can read, but it's a bit tough. They're cheap, less than 350 US. That sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool. Yeah, it's an amp I don't know much about, so I'll have to look into them. It's funny, most of the Fender stuff I've seen, or not all of it, obviously, especially old stuff, but you know, usually when there's lots of people asking about something, I've at least seen it somewhere, and not in this case. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, thanks again for the super chat there, mate. Remco, appreciate it, mate. All right, Carl says, have you tried the PRS CE 24 semi-hollow? I've seen your PRS SE quite often. I traded 3 guitars to get the PRS CE LOL. No, and the reason why I haven't tried it is I haven't seen Lefty. I'm not sure PRS are making those in Lefties at all. I think they kind of like stopped making a lot of Lefties. I know you can't get the Silver Sky and I think the majority of their higher end guitars now, I know that's a US made one as well, but I'm pretty sure they're not making lefties anymore, which is a bit of a shame. So Carl, if yours is left-handed and I'm wrong, let us know, because I'd love to try that out. Where I borrow a lot of the stuff from, Sky Music have a huge selection of PRS, and usually if they can, they'll get a lefty in, because it goes pretty quick. But yeah, the CE stuff's great. Like, nothing wrong with those at all. From memory, I think they're, for folks who don't know, I think that they're like the first step into the US-made guitars. So you're getting a more premium guitar than the SE range. But it's still not as expensive as like those crazy expensive PRS guitars. Yeah. And ergonomic and cool. There's heaps of different ones too. You can get like, some have F holes in them. You can look them up. There's plenty of great ones there. Welcome to the bottom of the chat. Hey, thanks, man. It did scroll like up a page or two before. So if I missed any questions, feel free to let us know. Just at intheblues me and I'll be able to find it. And that at intheblues thing won't work on a phone for some reason. Or maybe they fixed that finally. But yeah, it's definitely, it was one of those glitchy things a while back. Hey, we've got Quentin James here. Welcome, man. Hope you're doing well. We're right at the bottom of the chat, so we'll take a few more questions and chat some more gear stuff. But hopefully in the next couple of weeks, you'll start seeing more interesting videos going up. There's going to be, like, the short videos. I know not everyone's a fan of them, but they do help. And if they're interesting, they're kind of cool. So I've tried to give you just stuff that I found interesting, or stuff I never used in my Guitar Search Saturdays, or stuff that I did use and no one saw it. So I'm trying to share a good mix of like back catalog stuff or unique stuff with the short little vertical video things. They're not my ideal content, but sometimes you got to play the game to get your channel out there, and it's kind of working. So there'll be a mix of those. I've got more pedal videos. I've got a whole lot of Boss ones scheduled, Ibanez, EHX, and one more Marshall pedal video. But I'm only going to release one a week right now, just to make sure I've got enough in the bag in case this takes a while to heal up. Hey, John, it worked, man. That's awesome. On a computer, when you at someone, it fills it in kind of as you start typing their name. So maybe that works on Android. It might just be an iPhone bug, but that's cool. All right. Ramar says, hi, Shane. Hi again, Shane. A question, as a lefty, how do you prefer your volume and tone knobs roll, clockwise or anti-clockwise, to up the volume? Do you use lefty pots or righty pots, reverse white? All right, so there's a few. I've got a weird question, a weird answer for this question, I should say. So if I'm playing a Strat Telecaster or anything in those type of shapes, I prefer it to roll forwards. So I'll grab this again. This is only unique to lefties, by the way. If you're a right-handed player, this won't make any sense. But I want to turn the volume up by turning it this way. So towards the headstock, which is the normal way if you completely reverse a right-handed guitar. Now, Gibson make their lefties exactly the same electronically to their righties, except the neck is on this side, which means, you know, this is a lefty, right? But I'm just saying, like, the right-handed guitar would have the neck coming out of here. They wire it up identically to the right-handed guitar to save, maybe, I think it's to solve any wiring issues. And then you have the guitar neck on this side. So that means that now on is backwards. I'm so used to playing humbucker guitars where in other shapes than this, where the volume control goes backwards for on. I can't get used to it if it goes forwards, which is crazy because you would think I'd get them all changed and have them all roll towards the headstock. But I'm so used to my Tokai, my Gibsons, my Flying V, all the stuff I've had over the years, the PRS. I know PRS changed it on their later models, but all of those guitars, I like to have the volume and tone control work backwards. I'm just used to it. But on any Tally guitar like this, I much prefer it to roll forwards. I have no idea how I got used to that. But it's one of those weird things that just works for my particular playing style. Now, when it comes to changing pots and using Lefty taper pots, I haven't found there to be a difference if you use quality pots. I use Emerson Pro pots on my guitars, generally, unless I have a guitar fixed at a shop and they use something else, whatever the case may be. But most of those, I can just wire in and they're fine. There's no issues with the taper, and it just works. But some people say that you have to have left-handed pots in a left-handed guitar. I know from looking at what Gibson do, they use exactly the same parts. They just bolt the neck on the other side, basically. And that works. So there's no way that they're using lefty pots, because obviously they're rolling the same way as they would for a right-handed guitar. Fender might use different parts. I've never really been able to get a really clear-cut answer from any tech on this. Some people say yes, some people say no. Just from changing pots on my own, I know that I can put a right-handed or a normal volume pot in here and wire it up and it's fine. Would it taper differently to, say, a lefty pot? Maybe, but I never find it to be a problem. So it's a long answer to a really weird thing. But yeah, with any guitar shape like this, or a Tally, or a Stratocaster sort of shape, yeah, they always have to go forwards like a Fender, because that's what I'm used to. Any humbucker guitar, like a Flying V, a Les Paul, or a PRS or whatever, they all have to go backwards. Otherwise it does my head in. It's crazy. Yeah, we're a weird breed, man, these lefties. You know, I don't know what it is, but I think, you know, over the years I found so many left-handed guitars that weren't wired correctly, except for Gibsons. Gibson have always done it right, and I think it's because their workflow doesn't change. They just wire it up like they would be for a right-handed player. And it works. So there's no, oh yeah, you've got to reverse this, got to reverse that. It just does it, and it does it. They do it well. So yeah, or Tokai or whatever, right? They're all the same. Excuse me. I shouldn't drink this when I live stream, but it keeps me going. John just said, yeah, the phone tagging still works, but does not do the autocomplete. Okay, cool. Richard says, haven't tried the new Maestro pedals. I see they're all pretty much half price. Not sure they've been greatly received. China-made, Gibson-owned. You know, I haven't tried them. I did get a notification from, was it Guitar Center sent me an email saying, hey, we're going to be selling these. If you want to share it with your audience, go for it. And I did that on my website. But that was it. So I haven't tried them myself. Hopefully I get a chance to try them. But if they're already half price, it might mean they're not overly popular. So yeah, we'll see how we go. Sloboda says, hi Shane, last week I tried a Sheraton Pro 2. Sounds good and looks great. Unfortunately, I find the neck a little bit too sticky and uncomfortable. I usually play C neck guitars, just not for me. It broke my heart. Those things are beautiful. Yeah, I actually bought one of those probably close to 8 or 9 years ago. I had it for about 2 days, unfortunately. I bought it secondhand from a shop, so I was kind of covered. I was lucky. I got it home. You know, when you're playing a guitar in the shop, sometimes you look at everything, and other times you're just like, man, this is beautiful. I just want to buy it. I had one of those moments. I had a quick play, and I went, oh yeah, done. Took it home. I realized that the posts in the bridge were already almost falling out. So I took the strings off. They came out. I was like, oh. So I had to run it back and get a refund. I was spewing. Those guitars are beautiful. A friend of mine, Harold's got one of those, and they're really impressive looking guitars. Still, to this day, just beautiful. Yeah, but I know what you mean about the sticky necks. I think they've got the kind of like that black finish on the neck, and they're also coated with the gloss, and that's not for everybody. Hey Janice, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining in. Am I weird for liking thin necks? You know, I used to hate thin necks, and now I don't care. I don't care as much as I used to. Yeah, look, if I had to pick one guitar and they were the same, one thin neck, one fat, I'd probably take the fat neck guitar. But most of the time, thin necks, if they're nice, are fine. Like, I'm so used to the modern C neck. I'm also used to the PRS thin wide neck, which is something I'd never play normally, and that's fine too. Even my Gibson Flying V doesn't have the fattest neck, but it works for that guitar. So, you know, it is what it is. It just got to play what makes you motivated, and, you know, if you like thin necks. That's just the way it is. I think it's also hand size dependent, right? So there's a bit of that. All right. I'm not sure how to say. Oh, it's Stuart, I guess, with an A at the start. Hey, Shane. Settle a bet. Would you rather have 2 Boss Katana 50s connected via an ABY via a radial big shot, or 1 Boss Katana 100? Probably the 100. The only reason why, it's less setup time. If I'm doing a gig, 2 amps can cause a lot of problems sometimes. Actually, I'm going to do a video about this coming up, because one of the solutions I've got at the moment is to be able to run multiple amplifiers well. But I think one of the biggest problems can be trying to make that work at a gig. But you know, you can get some great stuff when you're running 2 amps, but I would still, if I'm throwing it in the car, I'd rather have 1 loud amp than 2 amps. That would just be for me. If I was recording, maybe I'd prefer 2, but yeah, I would take the 100. That would be what I would prefer anyway. All right, folks. Well, if anyone has any last questions, let us know. If you can, please leave a thumbs up. I appreciate that. It really helps get the videos pushed out and all that kind of stuff. We got looks like we've got 90 people here. They're far out, man. Super cool. 49 likes as of right now. So yeah, feel free to drop a thumbs up. If you don't like the live stream, you can leave a thumbs down. No one knows anymore. But I got to tell you, most of my videos get upwards of 98% thumbs up over thumbs down. So thank you, everybody, for all the support. And thanks for sticking with me while I'm not releasing as much as I would like to right now because of my arms sucking. But I'll get back to it pretty soon. I'm also going to have, I was just chatting to Rick today about doing some stuff coming up with him. So hang in there. I'd like to get Rick back on the channel coming up. He's got some cool little bits and pieces that'd be fun to share with everybody. So yeah. King's Angel says, have I ever played any gigs in the US? I have. So I played in San Francisco for nearly 3 months at one point, which was awesome. I did some jam nights in Chicago, but yeah, I played with Edna Love's band in San Francisco with one of my good friends, Ed Ivey, who is a great singer, and he ran one of the longest running blues jams in San Francisco at a place called Swig. We played everywhere. He just let me sit in, and it was the best fun. So I played there. I've played in Florida. I've played in Texas. This is going back a while now, the Texas stuff, but yeah, I love gigging and jamming over there. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, in terms of proper gigs, the bulk of that was in San Francisco, but I went to jams everywhere, and it was a lot of fun. So much fun. George says, hi Shane, for tube emulation, Fender Tone Master Deluxe or Roland Blues Cube with an ultimate blues capsule. You know those capsules, don't waste your money on them. I don't think you really need them. The difference, it doesn't necessarily make the amp better. It just changes it. Unless you really love the sound of those things. I remember going through, I had a device that had all of them in there. And I kind of think like the amp would do the job. And if you use pedals, you don't need those capsules. I would say for gigging, if you plan on gigging, the Blues Cube is going to be louder. So if that's important to you, then, and you get that solid state clean channel too. But the Tone Master stuff's pretty great. Like the Princeton held its own. It was every bit as good as what we hoped it would be. But it's a different kind of amp. You know, you're sacrificing a few things for an amp that's super light and a bit more convenient in terms of its outputs and all that kind of stuff. But the Blues Cubes are pretty great. I just don't think you really need to go buying those capsules. I've tried them all, and I was like, yeah, they're cool, but the amp itself is fine. You know, one of the most overrated things about those amps is the blend channel. I think while the concept of that is great, you can get a better sound either on the drive channel or on the clean channel. Unless you love the sound of that. I think in a mix it's going to struggle. I remember comparing my PV Bandit up against the Blues Cube. And it was every bit as good as the Bandit, just different. Which was really eye-opening because I didn't expect it to be anywhere near as loud. But yeah, it all comes down to what it is you value the most. Portability, XLR output with IRs, or do you just want like a great solid state amp? And those are great solid state amps. They really are. All right. Thanks, Todd. Take it easy, man. Hope you're doing well. I hope you keep well. Sorry, I was reading here as well. Someone just wrote, "Hope your arm gets better soon." I turned that into a one weird sentence. Yeah, we're going to get Rick on again. Dougal says, having Rick just show and discuss a few of his guitars could be interesting. I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to get through his guitar collection because it's changed so much over the years. He used to have like 10 Telecasters. Maybe not that many, maybe 6. Now he's only got 1. So what else does he have? That's what we want to find out. All right, guys, we're going to timestamp this up. I'm going to do that right now. I've got my caffeine ready. I've got my big screen ready. We're going to timestamp this and pop it online. Thank you, everyone, for the support over the years and recently as well. And hang in there. This guitar review will go up as soon as I can play. So I'm going to give it till the end of this week, and then I'll see how we go. Yeah, anyway. I don't want to whinge too much about that, but it's, you know, when you rely on your arm for your gig, it's sort of like, uh-oh. All right, take care, everybody. Thank you again for hanging out. I do appreciate it. And I will hit